My name's Julie Nunes, and I'm very happy to be hosting the event alongside Katie Wilson from Bolsover Cruise Club, who is product manager, and also we're very lucky to have our managing director with us this evening, who will present most of this evening with some exciting news to tell you about our new fleet of ships. Peter is our MD for UK and Ireland and has a wealth of experience within the cruise industry, and some of you may know him from previous roles as well. So I'm just going to make sure that you can all hear us okay, and happy St David's Day as well to all of those who are joining us from Wales. And for those of you that haven't, I hope you've had your pancakes today because it is Shrove Tuesday as well. So I've just put a hello in the box there. Hopefully you can you can hear us all. We can't see or hear you, so we do use the chat box. If you've got any questions at all throughout the evening, please don't hesitate to ask away. I can't see anybody typing yet, so Katie, Peter, can you see me typing there in the chat box?
Yes.
Maybe everybody's somebody's typing, so just thinking everybody might be a little bit shy there. Just do another type to make sure. Hello, Neil. Hello, how are you? Thanks. So the chat box is working, and hopefully, as I say, you can hear us all fine. And if you've got any questions at all, then please use the chat box and we'll endeavour. Oh, yes, it's all coming through loud and clear now. We'll endeavour to answer them as the evening goes by. So without further ado, sit back. I hope you've got a glass of something nice, wine or a hot drink in your hands. And I'm firstly going to pass you over to Katie Wilson, who is the product manager for Bolsover Cruise Club. Over to you, Katie.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. My name is Katie. I've been the product manager at Bolsover Cruise Club now for about 4 years. But I've been with Bolsover a lot longer than that, pretty much my whole life, in fact, because it's part of my family business. My dad is the managing director and my granddad is the business consultant still on board, and my auntie is our financial director. So I was brought in about 4 years ago now to open our cruise and stay department. So I'm here today to talk to you about some of the cruise and stay packages we have with Silversea. We focus on land tours, hotel stays, anything that's just a little bit different, a little bit more is where I come involved. So I'm looking forward to talking to you all about that a little bit later on. But first over to Peter Shanks, the Managing Director of Silversea, who's going to talk to you all about their products and the new cruises they've got coming up over the next couple of years.
Thank you, Katie. Good evening, everybody. And it's lovely to see Katie following on that amazing family tradition. I've been in travel for far too long. I know both Derek and Michael extremely well. And I have to say, all of you who work and purchase your cruises through Bolsover, you could not be in better hands. They're an absolutely fabulous company, and their knowledge and recommendation is second to none. So delighted to be with you this evening. It's good news that cruise is coming back cautiously. We have 7 of our 10 ships sailing at the moment, and come the summer, we'll be back to full strength, but we're being fairly cautious about it. I see a couple of questions have come up already about our protocols, and I can touch on them a little bit later on. But I'm going to tell you a little bit about Silversea, and then a little bit about Silver Dawn, our new ship, and then obviously Silver Nova, which is an incredible new ship, which is joining the fleet in 2023. But the world is reopening. Our fleet at the moment, for those of you who may not know Silversea very well, we have, starting at the bottom of that slide, our older ships, our beautiful smaller ships, the Shadow class, for those who love the smaller ships that are around about 388 guests each, very intimate ships and beautifully refurbished. We have 4 expedition ships going to iconic destinations like Antarctica, the Arctic, Galapagos, and everywhere in between. The Silver Wind and Cloud, very well established ships, but now changed to being ice class and beautiful expedition ships. Our smaller Silver Explorer, which is currently down in Antarctica, and our beautiful new Silver Origin. I'm going to show you a little video clip in a second, which is very good news indeed. And then our Muse class, our larger ships, but small in the world of cruising generally, the Spirit, the Muse, the Moon, and the beautiful new Silver Dawn, with 596. So about 600 guests on our larger ships. And then joining the fleet, and more of that later, the first of our Nova class ships, the Silver Nova, joins us next year, and a further one joins in 2024. So we're growing fast. Silversea will grow by around about 50% over the next 3 years. And touch wood, our guests are being very supportive, and we're on track for that growth despite where we've been over the last couple of years as we come out of this this tough time. And of course, I should mention that the other thing that's going on in the world, which is extremely uncomfortable at the moment for all of us, we're hopeful that that will pass. Our thoughts are with everybody out there in Ukraine. It's terrible what's happening out there. And if anyone does have a cruise booked with us or thinking of booking on our Northern Europe cruises, I can reassure you we are changing our itineraries so that none of our ships will go to Russia. Excuse me, my phone ringing. I should turn that off. So we'll be changing our Black Sea cruises and changing our ports up in Northern Europe, so we will not be going to any Russian ports. Here are the newer ships. The Silver Moon launched last year and had a very successful first season in Greece, and she then went on to sail in the Caribbean and South America during the winter. The Silver Dawn joins the fleet on the 31st of March, and the Silver Nova joins us in 23. But I just want to touch on the Silver Origin, which we named in Ecuador last Friday. And I'd just like to show you a short video of what it's like to name a ship during a pandemic in the Galapagos. And I think it's lovely because it's a good news story, and we all need some good news at the moment. So Julie, let's run that video.
Madrina, in nome di Dio, Taglia.
I name the ship Silver Origin. God bless her and all who sail on her.
So it's lovely to name a ship in Galapagos at this time of, as good news as the world recovers. And she sails there year round, so 7-night rotations year round. And by the way, as a nice little touch and responsibility, we did wrap that champagne bottle in a very thin wire mesh, such that none of the glass went into the Galapagos waters, because we have to take care of the environment in that part of the world. And talking of the world, we go to more places than I ever thought there were places. So of course we do go as a cruise line to the destinations many of you might know already, in terms of the Mediterranean, Northern Europe, the Caribbean, South America, Australia. But we tend to go into more depth in destinations like Asia, South America, and we tend to take with our smaller ships, our itineraries are more immersive and go into those smaller destinations. So perhaps if you're very well-seasoned cruisers and you've been to some of the bigger destinations, then Silversea is always a great choice to go to some of the smaller destinations, and we have over 900 to choose from. And we like to travel deeper into all the different destinations we go. So I mentioned going into smaller ports, and I'll come on to talk about some of the excursions we now include on all of our cruises, and some of the things we're doing like our Sea and Land Taste initiative, because we really want people to get to know the heart of destinations. And that's what Silversea is all about. And we go to some iconic places. There's one, for example, in London. And if you sail with us or have sailed with us on the Silver Cloud or the Silver Wind in London, reversing through Tower Bridge is quite an experience. You have to go backwards down the Thames for quite some distance until there's space to turn around. But she's one of our expedition ships and can get into some incredibly iconic and smaller destinations. All of our ships, all of the suites are suites. We have on our smaller ship 50 suites and our bigger ship 298 suites. So quite intimate, but a suite experience on every single one of our ships. And they're gorgeous. And we now have, because we've refurbished all of our older ships, you'll find the level of comfort and the design in all of our ships in the suites is now up to the same standard. And we include an awful lot. We tend to have space, because space is at a real premium these days. I'm often asked what defines luxury. And I think luxury is about having space, having comfort, having plenty of space around you. And the suites are absolutely lovely. We have choice of pillows. We have wonderful bathrobes and slippers. We have personalized stationery. We obviously have a refrigerated bar, and we can fill that with whatever you would like, including fresh water, still and sparkling, in our own glass bottles to help with the environment. And we're famed for our walk-in wardrobe, premium mattresses, beautiful fine linens, and some lovely just bits and pieces around the suite that make you feel very special indeed. And it's all about the personalized service. We have butlers in every suite. Either he or she will look after you from the moment you arrive. And we tend to find, my experience is, us Brits can be quite cautious about butlers, whereas the Americans start by saying, well, you can unpack. But they will actually do anything you like. They're very lovely people. They are the pride of Silversea, and they will take care of you, whether it's making dinner for you in the suite, bringing you that breakfast to have on your balcony, looking after your laundry, or preparing for your return home, and some very nice touches that happen throughout the cruise. And we've now become what we call a fully all-inclusive experience at Silversea. We look after everything from your home all the way through the journey, everything on board and back. And what we've introduced from spring this year is what we call our door-to-door service, which includes an executive transfer from your home to the airport and back home again. And it's managed by the same people who do that service for the likes of Virgin Atlantic and Emirates. And many of you will have used that service, and it's extremely good, very efficient, top quality, and it's part of that all-inclusive experience. And here is what a door-to-door journey looks like with Silversea. So I mentioned the private executive transfer to start you off from home, the international flights, and if there's an ongoing charter flight required in the destination, we take care of that as well. We offer business class on all of our European sailings, and we have some very nice promotional fares to upgrade to business class on long haul. If the flight necessitates you staying in a hotel when you arrive in further afield destinations, or indeed in Europe, then we take care of that overnight hotel in resort, and we take care of the transfers from the hotel back down to the port. We look after all the transfers you might require. Then on board the ship, everything's included with Silversea. Fine dining, all the restaurants, reservations not required unless it's the La Dame, which I'll touch on, which is our prime restaurant. All the fine wines, and they are fine wines with many, many to choose from, and wonderful spirits as well on offer in the bars. So everything is included, nothing to worry about. And we cover the gratuities by looking after our crew as well. So you don't have to worry about those either. And as I mentioned, butlers in every suite, unlimited Wi-Fi. It's terrific on board. You don't have to worry about a thing. And from this year, we now include shore excursions as well. So in every port you visit, there is an included shore excursion for you to take at no extra charge. Or you can choose to upgrade yourself to a range of different premium shore experiences. But there's a really healthy range of included shore excursions for you to choose from. And then, of course, if you were to take an expedition, on top of all of that, we have our expedition team. We supply parkas and boots and all the equipment which you can take home with you. And we have a wonderful wonderful lecture series from those expedition team members who are with you in the Zodiacs to really explore the destination. And often people suggest, say, if you're on a small ship, can you offer a variety of dining? Well, on our Muse class ships, and certainly on our new Nova ship, we have up to 10 different dinings, 8 here main dining experiences. La Dame is our very well-known French dining experience, and on the larger ships that now also has an outdoor area. La Terrazza is our famous Italian restaurant, breakfast, lunch, or dinner, very Italian and a beautiful breakfast. The grill is exciting. That's out on the deck. And we have the lava stones, where people can actually cook their own meat, fish, or if you're not keen on that, you can also order a pizza from upstairs, Scapa Napoli, wonderful Italian Neapolitan pizzas. Silver Note is wonderful. It's where you can go for an evening out, where you're entertained with music, jazz music, dancing after dinner if you'd like to. And then our two main restaurants are Atlantide, which is a lovely traditional dining venue. And on our newer ships, our new sea and land taste restaurant, the Salt Restaurant. And I should also mention the Kaisekai Japanese restaurant. So on a small ship, immense choice and all extremely good. And if someone's just asked a question about beverages available inclusive at all times, yes, all times, breakfast through dinner. Please do pace yourself. But whether you want a pina colada in the afternoon, a cold beer before lunch, a glass of rosé around the pool, your pre-dinner drinks, your late night drinks, maybe a brandy, whatever it is you'd like, all the fine wines and beverages are included throughout your stay on the ship. And it makes it much more relaxing. Although you do have to pace yourself and just make sure you make it through the day without overindulging. But clearly that's up to you. But it's by being all inclusive, there's nothing to worry about. Everything's included. So I just want to talk about Silver Moon and the introduction of our sea and land taste program, which has been terrific. We introduced it on the Silver Moon last summer. It will be on Silver Dawn, which launches soon, and it will be on our new ships as well. And sea and land taste is all about immersing you into the destination you are, wherever that ship is around the world. And it's made up of 4 parts. We have the Salt Kitchen, a beautiful main restaurant. And for example, when I was in Greece on the Silver Moon, we had a wonderful choice of Greek food, wonderful Greek recipes cooked from local produce, as well as other fare. If you wanted to have a steak or you wanted to have some fresh fish, you could have that too. But while the ship was in Greece, we had some beautiful Greek food. And wherever that ship is in the world, we'll have those dishes from the location. The Salt Bar is pretty much like one of London's top, coolest cocktail bars. And we have wonderful guys who run it. And again, we bring to life the taste, the wines, but particularly the spirits and the cocktails from the destination wherever the ship is sailing. Then we have the Salt Lab, which is like being on MasterChef on TV. And that's included, all of this is included as well. It's a wonderful venue. We'll see a video in a second. I think we have 12 different stations. We have our chefs. We prepare all the food and then show you how to create a beautiful dish, again, wherever the ship is in the world. I did moussaka, which was pretty good. But when I came home, my family told me it wasn't quite as good, but I thought it was terrific when I made it on the ship. And then lastly, and really importantly, the Salt experience ashore. So going back to the example of when I was on Silver Moon in Greece, we went ashore, went to a local farm. We met the owner of the farm and his farm hands. They walked us around some of the farm, showed us the herbs and spices they were growing, explained how they were doing that. And then we had a wonderful outdoor little event where we tasted some of those herbs and spices and some of the food that they prepared. And then we went down to a local restaurant on the beach where only the locals go. And they showed us how they made some of that local food. And we had supper as the sun went down under the trees on the beach with the locals. That's the Salt experience that happens anywhere where the ship is around the world. And it's fab. So let's just run this little video here if I can, to talk about and show you and bring to life the Salt experience.
My name's Justin Rollins. I'm here from Los Angeles, California, and I'm here with my wife, Melissa.
I'm Melissa, and I'm here from Los Angeles as well.
We'd been thinking about Silversea for a while, and our friends had recommended it highly. Both of us like to go on cruises. We've been on a few, 4 or 5, I think now.
I loved going to have the traditional lunch and the dancing and really kind of wandering off. You feel like you're going off to where people really are living and experiencing, their life on the island, and I thought that was really special. Tomorrow we have the Salt excursion for the Cyprus wine exploration tour, and we wanted to sign up for those because getting a little bit of the local flavor and learning more about where we are. We don't explore a lot of Greek food or wines, and so it was a nice way to have kind of an intro and someone curating, let's give you the history of it versus going out and just trying to wander about and figure it out ourselves.
The wine lists are amazing. Every evening it's been like, okay, tonight we're gonna go with a Spanish wine, and what do they have? They have the top 2 Spanish wines in the world.
We like to travel, we like to go different places, but having one place to go, unpacking one time, and then having the world kind of presented to you on the boat with excellent service was just, we couldn't get better than that.
Just to answer a couple of questions as we go through with regards to the restaurants, we do charge for Les Dames. The reason we charge for Les Dames is it is so popular that we had quite a few people who would book the restaurant and then not turn up or cancel very late, which meant it was unfair on others. So we introduced a reasonably small charge just to make the process stick, that if people were coming, they had to advise us by lunchtime if they weren't coming, in which case they'd lose that cost. And it works much better. So sometimes at peak periods, the other one we do look at it potentially for the same reason, the Kai Sekai Japanese restaurant, but all the other restaurants I've covered, there is no charge. It's just for that managing the process to make it fair for everybody that we do charge in Les Dames and sometimes on Kai Sekai. And I see someone mentioned that from Facebook, and we all know not to believe everything we read on Facebook. So let's move on to Silver Dawn. She is a ship, sister ship to Silver Muse and Silver Moon, and we will be christening her in Lisbon on the 31st of March. And we're all looking forward to that event, which is very exciting. She's a lovely ship, but coming in the same way that we introduced the Sea and Land Taste Salt program for Silver Moon, Silver Dawn is all about the spa experience, and we're calling it Otium. And the principle behind it is quite often spas can be quite starchy places, and we feel people are on holiday. Why can't they just enjoy themselves? So with Otium, it's fine to indulge yourself while you're in the spa and around the ship. So if you do want that cold beer or that caviar or that glass of champagne while you're relaxing in and around the spa, then you can do that. But it's much more than that. We have looked at every aspect of the journey on board the ship and tried to bring to life experiences. It goes back a little bit to Roman times when people really did like to indulge themselves. But we have wonderful little gourmet choices that can be served to you on your balcony, can be served to you during or after your spa treatment. And we also look at things like the pillow experience, the bathing experience. We have a whole range now of wonderful mattresses, which we're installing, and also a whole range of different pillows and duvets, such that you can pick and choose with your butler as to what's best for you, and some comfort food. And if you'd like popcorn while you're watching a movie, that's absolutely fine. If you want something a bit more special, that's fine too. And as well as normally serving dinner or breakfast on your balcony, we have some very special balcony experiences that will bring the Otium suite experience to life on board Silver Dawn. So Silver Dawn will have not only everything with salt, but will also bring to life Otium. And when we come to Silver Nova, she will have both those and a lot more. It's a bit of an industry phrase, but I'm sort of referring to Silver Nova, and I keep slipping into the word supernova, but I'm describing Silver Nova as a game changer in ultra luxury cruising. We're now part of the Royal Caribbean Group, which has been terrific for us over the last 2 years to give us that financial backing. And you can see the growth that's now coming our way at Silversea. And when you put together the experience in real ultra luxury and the wonderful people we have, both in our operations teams and also on board, and you mix what's very special about Silversea with some of the most innovative shipbuilding and ship designers in the world at Royal Caribbean, then we've delivered a ship which is fabulous. And don't worry, it won't be like a Royal Caribbean ship with all kinds of whistles and bells. It will be the Silversea experience taken to the next level. And here's how the ship looks. We haven't revealed a lot of images yet. We're doing that over coming weeks, and we'll show you some of the suites in a second. But I think you'll agree with me, she looks like a very different ship. And if you actually look just below the main funnel there, those are actually the glass lifts. The lifts in this ship are not in the center of the ship. They're actually on the outside of the ship, and they're glass lifts. And there's so much glass on this ship that the feeling on board will be so open, particularly when you're in wonderful destinations. She is a bit bigger. So some of our guests who love our smaller ships are saying she's too big at 728 guests. I've worked with a lot of big ships, and they're great at what they do. but 728 is still small. And what it still means is an awful lot of space and a wonderful staff to guest ratio. She's about 55,000 tons. So she's still a small ultra luxury ship. And we feel that just going over 700 guests versus the 600 we have today is just about perfect for us. And we are radically working here on a serious approach to sustainability. This ship has so many new environmental and sustainable features. It's something that Silversea are committed to worldwide, but this ship is really going to be a game changer. And it's becoming more important to all of us as we travel around the world, that we make those choices based not just on destination, price, and other things, but also on what we're doing to this wonderful planet of ours. So a few things, and I won't get too technical with you, but most cruise ships, as you know today, run on quite dirty diesel. And although we've done an awful lot to reduce emissions, some of the most modern ships, and certainly Silver Nova, will run on liquid natural gas, so LNG fuel, which is so much cleaner. But she will be the first ship to have proper battery power as well. We have hydrogen fuel cells, such that when she is at sea, we can charge those hydrogen fuel cells to charge the batteries, such that when she comes into port, she'll be the first ship in the world to have absolutely no emissions whilst in port. So when we go into big or small destinations and we arrive, and we might be in port from 7 in the morning till 11 at night, not one emission will come out of this ship. We run purely on our battery power. We will also have the ability to plug in, because many ports around the world are now building that ability as well for us to plug the ship in, rather a large plug, and run off shore power as well. So it's really important to us. And as well as lots of other features, the most important feature and world-breaking is the first ship ever without any emissions whilst in port. She also has an incredible energy and waste system where we turn a lot of the waste, whether it's the steam and heat that come off the engines, whether it's all those different things, we try and use every element of heat and turn it back into power. And the waste management on board is second to none in the latest technology. And she has beautiful suites. So what we are sharing now are some of the wonderful suites on board the ship. And in coming weeks, we'll be sharing with Katie and her team at Bolsover some of the more exciting areas around the ship in terms of the deck spaces and the public rooms. And they are radically different. They are an absolute wow and very, very relaxing with lots of space. There's a big difference. Those of you that know Silversea, or indeed our fine competitor Seabourn, you'll find that all the accommodation is at the front of the ship, and at the back you have all the public areas. When you have a larger ship, it means we can stretch that accommodation across the decks, across the full ship, and we can have those entertainment areas over a larger area. It's a much better way to plan the ship and gives a much better experience when you're moving around the ship. You're going up and down stairs less often, although it's always good to do so. And you can see here a complete variety of different suites. And we've maintained Silversea's famous approach of having our wonderful veranda suites, which are our main suites, our silver suites, our grand suites, our owner suites, and then a wonderful new Otium suite. So I'm going to rush through and show you just some examples to whet your appetite of the suites. And remember, all the suites on Silver Nova will have all the features I referred to earlier, whether it's the butlers, the stocked fridges, the luxury bath amenities, the complimentary Wi-Fi, etc., etc. So here is a classic layout of a veranda suite. And you can see that it's quite spacious. So we have a nice balcony. We have the area with a large sofa and a private desk to use. We have the table, which can be set up for dinner. We have a very wonderful bed. And we have the famous Silversea walk-in closet for all of us to hang things up as we do. This version, which we had from guests requesting, comes with a very large shower and therefore creates more room in the bathroom. But we also have some on this category that come with the bath as well. It's your choice. But we had feedback that actually people these days like a lovely big rainfall shower. So we have both in terms of our veranda suites. And here's what a veranda suite would look like. So lovely, understated. We are quite understated at Silversea, but a beautiful suite. And again, you can see the glass. You can see how much space you can see and how much light comes into the to the suite. And here's another angle from it. You can see the space. Here is the bathroom layout, quite simple on the left, with the large shower and the walk-in closet. Moving on to our most popular suite. So veranda's a wonderful, wonderful experience, but the silver suite always sells out first, in a good position, just forward from the center of the ship. And you can just see the difference in the space when you come to a silver suite. So a much larger balcony with room for the deck chairs as well as the chairs. A larger living room area with a bigger dining room table that you can have dine yourself or invite some friends to come and dine with you. The butler will set that up. The bedroom area, the even larger walk-in wardrobe. And then we have a very large bathroom with a jacuzzi bath, the double sink, and the shower as well. So that is our famous silver suite. And again, you can see the space and the design and the wonderful luxury feeling of those wonderful suites. And the silver suites are the most popular suites on all of our ships. And then there is the bedroom. So you feel much more separated with your bedroom area and your living area to relax. And a lovely big bathroom with a jacuzzi bath and the large shower. And then here is the best suite on the ship. We called it the Otium Suite. And you can just, something to dream of, but you can just see the space. Whether you have that just with the two of you or whether you bring in some family as well. It's just a beautiful space at the aft of the ship, wrap around. And you have that wonderful balcony wrapping around the ship with an outdoor jacuzzi, and then the large living areas, beautiful bathroom, and then the wonderful extensive living area. So it's like having your own beautiful penthouse apartment at sea. That's as good as it gets on Silver Nova and our Otium Suite. Lovely areas there. And the outdoor balcony is fantastic. And there's an example of the glass I was talking about. We've tried to design the ship with as much glass as we can to get the best views from the ship, wherever she may be around the world. And then let me just run through quickly where she'll be going, where she'll be sailing, and then Katie can come back and talk about some of the ways Bolso have managed to come up with some terrific offers. So her maiden season in July 23, her first sailing actually is from Southampton, which is terrific. But then she will have 22 voyages to 116 destinations across 50 countries, so plenty to choose from. Here is the maiden sailing, which is not yet sold out. 10 nights on the 15th of July from Southampton down to Lisbon, calling at some wonderful destinations. Sorry, I went too quickly on that one. So she'll come down into St. Malo, spend some time in Bordeaux, into Bilbao, and then into Vigo and Oporto in Portugal before coming down to Lisbon. So quite a cultural experience, plenty of wine tasting in those different destinations, and always exciting to be on a maiden voyage. Well, exciting for some. In my experience, there are some people who love to go on the maiden voyage for the excitement, and some who like to let the ship settle down for a few sailings and then go. Then she'll be based in the Mediterranean, doing a range of our very popular different itineraries, be it the Iberian Peninsula and Atlantic Isles, mostly Spain, with a touch of Morocco, or then the more traditional Western Med sailing that many of you may have tried before, but picking out some of the smaller ports like Saint-Tropez, Porto Venere, but a Barcelona to Monte Carlo, and Monte Carlo is where Silversea originally were born, or the really popular now Italy and Adriatic, from Rome right round up through Split, Dubrovnik, the Croatia case to Venice. And by the way, you may have read that large ships are not allowed to go right into the heart of Venice anymore. Well, the size of our ships mean we can't quite go down the Grand Canal right into the heart, but we can still go very close. Larger ships are having to go to the other side of the lagoon, but we can still take our guests really close safely to nearer to the heart of Venice, which is an advantage of having a smaller ship. We then have a lovely longer Mediterranean voyage with 22 nights. And by the way, one of our most popular things with Silversea is what we call combination voyages, where because every single itinerary is different, we don't do itineraries that repeat themselves. It means if you want to go away for a bit longer, be it 14 nights, 21 nights, or even longer, you can pick two and go for 2 voyages. And it's wonderful value for money because we give an extra value offer, if you like, for taking those 2 combination cruises. They're very popular, especially now that people want to get back to sea, want to go on holiday. Trying a combination, even if it's for later this summer, we think will be very popular. Then she'll be going across the Atlantic to New York, and a big arrival into New York, and spending her first winter in the Eastern Caribbean, Bermuda, Eastern Caribbean, and also then some Panama Canal going down to South America. So terrific first season in the Caribbean and touching on South America. And South America is just a fabulous destination for Silversea, one of our most popular. And we're hoping that come 23, 24, she'll be back in, things will be safe down there. But it's a wonderful way to see many different South American destinations and countries on the one cruise. So we've got a range of different South America cruises. And we've also recently announced, which I'll come on to in a second, a terrific round South America voyage. And this one's quite unique, going from Fort Lauderdale through the canal and then right up through Los Angeles, San Francisco, up to Vancouver. And she will then, as you can probably guess, then do an Alaska season for summer 24. And the South American, just look at that for a destination. 71 nights, 18 countries, 38 destinations. What better way to see South America than to pretty much see absolutely all of it? Immensely popular for us. It's what we do well. We have grand voyages that do the Mediterranean, Northern Europe, and also South America and Asia, where we link together different voyages. And then rather than a full type long world cruise experience, you can go for, say, 60, 70 nights. Very, very popular. So that was just before I hand back to Katie. I did say I would touch on protocols briefly. The first question came in. The world is opening up. We are slowly relaxing the protocols whilst being incredibly safe. We've worked all the way through the last 2 years in tandem with the government and with countries around the world and with our Royal Caribbean partners. We are going to be relaxing our mask policy. So we will not be requiring guests to wear masks unless they wish to from March. The only areas we'll ask for masks will be in the theatre or during the muster drill. Otherwise, we are going to, if people feel comfortable, we can move away from masks. We're no longer going to be doing antigen testing when guests arrive at the ship. But initially, we are still going to be asking, in fact, we're now going to be asking, particularly for Europe, for PCR tests within 2 days of arriving. Now, we're not sure yet what all the different European, Mediterranean, Northern Europe countries will be asking for. So we're being prudent. And certainly when I've been traveling recently, and many countries still ask for it, we do ask for that PCR test. But if you're traveling in the next few weeks, don't worry, because if you're not able to get that PCR test, we'll still maintain our policy of doing the antigen test at the port. So things are getting better, but we're being incredibly safe. We're asking our guests to be double vaccinated and boosted if they're eligible for a booster. So we are being, and our crew goes the same. So we're being very cautious on vaccinations with boosters. We have a whole range of protocols. And, you know, we're going to have to watch very carefully how each country opens up and do our absolute best, as we have been doing since starting sail again last June. So I've probably been a bit longer than I should have done. I wanted to share my passion for these incredible destinations. And it's remarkable, really, that during a pandemic, Silversea have launched the Silver Moon, the Silver Origin. We're about to launch the Silver Dawn. And the world of ultra luxury cruising has never been so popular. And our sales are remarkably higher than they were 2 years ago before this started. So I'd like to thank all of you who have sailed with us. Obviously, thank Katie and her colleagues at Bolsover, and hopefully manage to convince a few of you to come and try Silversea, whether it's a lovely trip around the Eastern Med or maybe a trip around Antarctica. We can go anywhere you like. So I'll see if there's any more questions I can answer at the end, Julie and Katie, but I'm now going to pass back.
Thank you so much, Peter. Katie, are you there? And I'll let you talk about, yes, she is. So I'll just manage the slides for you there, Katie. I'll just go on to the next one. So I know Katie's got some exciting cruise and stay voyages that she wants to share with you this evening.
Hi, everybody, and thank you, Peter. That was excellent. The suites on board are just stunning, and I'm very excited because I will be joining Silver Dawn at the end of this month for her christening, and I cannot wait to see the spa. The teasers are just too much for me at this point, so I'm really excited. So I have got 3 packages to share with you today, so 3 cruise and stay deals that we've put together. With the cruise and stay, how it works is we create these bespoke packages, and then you can completely change them, make them what you want. What they are really is inspiration for what we can offer. And so what we do is we pick a cruise and then we build around it. So we can add hotel stays, flights, we can add tours, all sorts, you name it. So anything that you see today, so it can be changed. If you see a pre-stay with 3 nights, that can become 7 nights. It's completely bespoke, and these are just ideas for your inspiration. So the first one I've got for you today is the Canada and Alaska Land, Rail and Sea. This is on Silver Muse, and it begins with a once in a lifetime bucket list trip on the Rocky Mountaineer. Now, don't be fooled, because on the slide it does say in the image Rocky Mountaineer Silver Leaf service, but this package is based on their Gold Leaf service, which is essentially their first class section of the train. So what you do is you would fly out to Calgary, and then you pick up this Rocky Mountaineer journey. Now, you don't sleep on a Rocky Mountaineer train, you actually stay in hotels, but the train takes you from point to point through the Rocky Mountains of Canada, and it's honestly breathtaking. The scenery that you pass is just incredible. In the Gold Leaf section of the train, you're in a massive, like, it's got a glass dome, so you can see out and you can see all the landscapes around you, and the train guides are trained to slow down and let you see the scenery and see the animals as you pass. So it's really one of the best ways to see Canada. So you take this amazing train journey through the mountains. You go to Kamloops, and you get to visit Lake Louise, and you also visit Banff before ending the train journey in Vancouver. We then have you stay in Vancouver for a couple of nights while we wait for the ship to arrive, and you embark on a 7-night journey through Alaska on Silver Muse. So you're getting to see all of Canada, and then you're going into Alaska. So the scenery that you're going to experience on this trip is just phenomenal. You're going to get to see glaciers, you're going to get to see beautiful blue lakes. It really does cover everything. The Rocky Mountaineer part of the journey does include meals, so it is an all-inclusive journey because you've got the Rocky Mountaineer and the Silver Sea, which is both all-inclusive, and all your transfers are included and flights are also included. Like I said, it is a bespoke package, so we can make amendments to it, we can make changes and add-ons, whatever takes your fancy. My next package is the Autumn Colours of New England, and this is a beautiful way again to see the north of America. You fly over to New York, where there's a 3-night stay in a 5-star hotel. This package is using the Knickerbocker Hotel in New York. However, you can choose whatever hotel you would like to stay in. Again, this is just for inspiration. So we do work with a whole range of 5-star hotels in New York. So if you wanted to stay in a different location, if you wanted to be more central, we can make that happen. You would just need to talk to us, tell us what your preferences are, and we can pick the best hotel suited for you. Again, all private transfers are included and flights are included before joining Silver Whisper for an 11-night New England cruise, which again is a very gorgeous scenic trip to take. And then my final package, this one is my absolute favorite.
This is my favorite, Katie. I was just about to say, I actually would like to do this. It looks amazing.
I've tried. I would love to do this package. This is actually going in my top picks for the next edition of our Into the Blue. So I pick 6 packages that we've done over the last few months, and they get featured as my favorites in our Into the Blue that goes out. And this one is going to be in the next edition because it really is just a stunning holiday. So with this one, you would fly to Santorini, and then there is a 4-night stay in a 5-star hotel in Santorini. But it's not just any hotel in Santorini. If you ask me, it's my favorite hotel in Santorini. It's stunning. It's right on the top of the cliffs. overlooking the ocean, and the swimming pool has infinity views right over the bay. It's honestly stunning, and you would see the cruise ships pull in. I went and visited it actually last time I was in Santorini, so I can tell you that it is a really gorgeous hotel. Perfect place to unwind for 4 days, and there's nothing better than being in Santorini in the evening when the cruise ships have gone, because that's when it's magical and the sun sets. It's really a really stunning place to go for a few days, and rather than just the 1 day on a cruise. So we do the 4 days in Santorini, and then you would get a private transfer back to the airport for a quick internal flight over to Athens, and then you would pick up the cruise in Athens on that same day. So you have your 4 days in Santorini, and then you pick up your internal flight over to Athens and join the cruise, where you embark on a Greek islands hopping adventure. It's amazing. And another great thing about this is there's no sea days. You're at a different Greek island every single day, and you cover all of the most stunning ones. So this hands down is my favorite package, and I'd be happy to talk to you about it in more detail. And like I said, what we do is completely bespoke. So if you wanted to do a different Greek island, or if you wanted to try a different hotel, or if you wanted to do a couple of nights in Athens before the cruise, then all of that is possible. It's just a matter of talking to us about what you'd like to do, and then we would try and make it work. Do you want me to talk about this?
I can do it, Katie. Thank you so much. You really brought those cruise and stay packages to life. That's absolutely fantastic. And I have to say, I haven't done 2 Greek island cruises on Silversea, and I've never really thought of packaging it with a pre-night stay in one of the beautiful Greek islands. And I just think the beauty of booking with Bolsover is that they can put these bespoke packages together, and wow, what an amazing start. It'll be the holiday that just keeps on giving. So thank you so much for bringing those cruise and stay packages to life, and also thank you, Peter, and thank you for managing the chat box just in the last couple of moments as well. And finally, before we finish, just to say thank you for taking time out of your evening. If you do book any Silversea cruise until the 15th of March, it does exclude any of the bespoke packages, but any Silversea cruise, you will receive a £200 per person gift saving, and that can be redeemed against any new voyage. But we also, if anybody is thinking, if we've whetted people's appetites, and we are taking lots of last minute bookings, which normally we do book quite far out at Silversea, but we're booking very, very close to departure at the moment. So we do have a few beautiful Mediterranean voyages leaving in the next couple of months, where we have a very special double upgrade offer. Now, on some of these ships, that means you'd get one of our Vista suites, which has a beautiful floor to ceiling picture window, but we would actually upgrade you to one of our beautiful veranda suites. So you'd automatically receive one of our suites with a private balcony, which is absolutely phenomenal, something that we very rarely do. So if you are interested in traveling in the not too distant future, please contact Katie or one of the team at Bolsover, who are waiting to take your call, and we will send you the gift saving certificate so that you can redeem that against your next cruise, and that's valid for the next 2 weeks.
Yes, thank you, Julia. I'm often asked, when should people cruise again? And my answer is, well, I think book yourself one for 23 or early 24 as a big iconic something to look forward to. And then have a look at what you want to do later this summer, because, you know, the world is opening up. There's going to be some nice opportunities. So I would do both personally, but I would say that, wouldn't I? But thanks very much for listening, especially early evening. And thank you so much, Katie, and all your colleagues at Bolsover. What you do for us and your guests is fabulous. Thank you very much.
Yes, I echo those thoughts. Thank you. And thank you to everybody. And thank you to Peter as well for taking the time out to present. My husband even walked in, Peter, because he was very excited to see the Silver Nova suite. So thank you, everybody. And if anybody does have any further questions, please don't hesitate to either email or give the guys at Bolsover a call. Enjoy the rest of your evening and thank you for listening.